Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Diwas Pradhan here, and today I want to talk about 20 things men should know before they turn 20. Quick disclaimer, I'm going to be looking over here because I have these listed out. It's a lot of things, and it's very important that before 20, or even if you're not 20 and you're a bit older, these things still apply. It's a foundation to a good male life, and when you're growing up as an adult, when you're going from a child, a teenager, to an adult, 18 over, 20 over, you want to learn these things because it's going to help become a better man. And I promise this will. So let's get right into it, okay? So, number one is that nothing gets solved by complaining, okay? And now, did you ever complain once in your life where you're just moaning about the situation and, you know, you're just like, I don't want to do this. This is so much work. Did you doing that ever actually give you any single help? Anything that made you think, oh my God, what I'm doing is going to actually help me? No, because simply moaning is not going to get you anywhere. Complaining is not going to get you anywhere. And guys, when you're 20 and over, you have things to worry about. You have bills to pay. You have shit to get done. You don't have time to think about, oh, it's so hard for me. You don't have time. You don't have time for that, man. You have to get better and more mature. Because honestly, you will never ever learn anything by complaining. The less you complain, the better you get. So get with the program, guys. Number two, take self accountability, okay? Now, my god damn, I've read so many books about this, about how self accountability is important, guys. You're never going to get anywhere if you depend on others. And that's the simple truth, okay? If you want to build a business, if you want to build, killer physique, if you want muscularness, if you want to just be more dominant, I guess, dominant. But if you just want to do better in life, you're going to have to be able to say, it's my fault. I'm going to own up to it. You can't say it's not my fault. You have to own your mistakes and solve them yourself. And that's what separates boys from men, guys. And this is the truth, man. When Look, listen, when I was in high school, this was a lot. Like I had a victim mindset, right? This is the idea with victim mindset. I think I read this in Millionaire Fastlane by DJ DeMarco, I think that was his name. And a lot of everything within this niche, it's all about people being like, oh, I'm so hungry, I'm so this, I'm so that, I can't pick this up, I can't do this, it's not my fault, I can't do it. No, you got to start saying you can do it, because what purpose do you get from saying it's not my fault, you can't do it? You don't get anything, man. Your life is your life, and you own every single distinct part of that life. So get with the program and own up to your life and be better. I honestly get tired of so many people just blaming other people for the shit that they need to get done. Work on yourselves, stop worrying about others, and focus on what you have to do next. All right, guys? Three, this is very important. Routine is the foundation of everything, okay? You want to wake up at the same time, try to preferably, unless you're an entrepreneur, it gets really hard, but you want to try to wake up at the same time gym, same time eating, all these things you got to mesh, figure it out, your own schedule. I'm not saying you have to be the 4 a.m. entrepreneur where you wake up at 4 a.m. exactly, hit the gym, read books and stuff. You don't have to do all that. You can wake up at 12 p.m. if you want, as long as you have a schedule you can stick to. Obviously, I would prefer you sleep closer to, before midnight, because it's better for your REM sleep and everything else. Your body naturally adjusts to it. That's what naturally happens with your bodily fluids and whatnot, right? But guys, when you have a routine, everything else gets easier, right? Like you have to stop thinking about the basics, right? Everything literally gets easier, right? And this is where I'm gonna be explaining how I do this, right? So I wake up, I eat the frog. Do the hardest thing in the morning. And for me today, that was doing outreach for my business. And I got a bunch of that stuff done today. And I have clients lined up. That is my number one thing I have to do. And I did it. And then I did the gym and I did everything else after. And that's what's important, guys. And when you have a routine, when you have a foundation set, everything literally it becomes a piece of cake, man. And most guys, they can't do it. And it's ridiculous to me, right? So have a routine down. And number four, your appearance does matter, right? Think about it, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. But think about it. Your appearance matters, and people take you more seriously when you're more put together. You have a haircut. Sorry, my hair is kind of messy, but I just came back from camping. You have clean clothes, your skincare. Yes, I do skincare, guys. Get with the program. It's very simple, right? You want to look put together. People are going to respect you more. Businesses are going to respect you more. You're not going to get anywhere if you're not put together, guys. That's a simple fact, right? Listen, no one wants to do business with someone who's out of shape, right? Because you are what you show yourself to be, right? If you don't have a good physique or you're just fat and you look lazy, bro. You look like a bum. So you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to make any business deals. You know, when I was fat, I was not talking to anybody. I was more shy. And really, I was not getting anywhere because I had a terrible physique. So guys, your appearance really matters. And I know how much people say that society is crux of all evil because they care about looks and stuff and looks maxing and stuff. Look, looks maxing is blown out of proportion. There's too much looks maxing, right? There's a certain point where looks are good for you, but then it hits you, and there's no point to expand the looks because you have to expand your other skills, right? But your appearance does matter, so try to level it up. Try to look clean, Although I'm not that clean put together right now, I think I look decent, right? I mean, you guys can comment whatever you want, but that's how I see myself. And five, masculinity is not something to be ashamed of, okay? Guys, never be ashamed of this, right? People, you see the toxic masculinity all the time and stuff, right? I mean, it gets to a point where I see people say that men can't cry. Men can cry, guys. You're being fucking ridiculous, okay? There's certain times where men have to be there, be in the moment, but men are allowed to cry, guys. Especially with your boys, you're allowed to cry, right? But masculinity is not something to be ashamed of, okay? Your drive, your aggression, ambition, those are your biggest assets in life, bro. Never let anyone convince you otherwise because oh, he's too aggressive. Oh, don't do that. Why are you trying so hard? Why are you pushing yourself to the absolute limit? Why are you working so hard? Don't let people say that to you and don't let people put you down with that stuff, okay? You excuse me for my language, but you're gonna have to say, fuck you. Because I wanna be the best. I wanna go here. I wanna get there. And for me to do that, I have to be so crazy about it, so insane that people will not understand. People will say, stop. People will say, it's a project. You're not doing anything special. And this is where you have to be insane. You have to drive to the insanity, guys. And I'm being serious here. If you want to be somewhere bigger in life, your masculinity is not something that you should be ashamed of. You should embrace the masculinity, but obviously there are aspects where you have to take the best of both worlds, okay? So now 6. Here's a big one. Stop seeking assistance, okay? You're not a kid anymore. If you're always reaching out to mom and dad to bail you out, you will stay stuck in a child's mindset, guys. This is one of the reasons I moved to college, guys. You are, bro, you're going to be 18, right? And living with your parents and stuff is fine, right? It's a good idea, actually. But I see so many guys living with mom and dad just because they're too afraid to go out into the real world and expose themselves to dangers, expose themselves to the uncomfortableness. And that's exactly where you have to thrive in. If you want to be better, if you want to grow up to be someone worth noticing, you have to be able to go past that uncomfortableness, that stage where you're like, I don't want to do this. It's so tough. And you have to say, you know what? I'm going to do it because it's what I have to do. And that is masculinity in itself. Right? So, and when I say stop seeking assistance, I mean like for the littlest, dumbest things. Man, if you can't put together your own bed, if you cannot clean your own bed sheets, if you cannot do your own laundry, if you listen, I'm not the best cook, right? My parents don't cook for me, right? I'm living with my parents right now for the summer, and I'm still working hard as shit, right? You have to be able to work. If I see you guys living with your parents and you're not doing shit, then I'm gonna smack you myself, all right? I'm gonna beat you up. Okay, that's a little too overboard, but you guys have to stop seeking assistance for these little things, right? You always in the future you are going to have to ask for help, obviously, to grow your business, to whatever you want to grow in, right? If you're an athlete, you want to get better, you want to reach out for advice, right? There's certain aspects of this. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm like Kung Fu Panda, but you have to stop seeking assistance, guys. It's just silly. You're going to look like a kid and it's immature. Okay? Excuse me again, guys, but here's another one. Every negative is a positive in disguise. And guys, you guys are almost like turning 20 and you're taking everything everyone says literally, you are fucking yourself up. You are setting yourself up for failure because for you to be great, you have to be able to say, you have to be able to take criticism, right? There are some people who are just going to BS you and just be a mean little cuck because they don't like what you're doing or trying to do, right? There's always going to be more people like that, and that's okay. But there are certain times when you have to look at one person's side and take the good from the bad, right? There are times where criticism actually helps. Okay, I was told I have a big ego. I was told that I try to do all these things and I just think I'm better than everyone. And for the longest time I thought I didn't think that way, but I realized I do think that way and I'm working on it. Because look, life, you're gonna have things you struggle in. And that was one of my main things. Right? I thought I was better than everyone when I clearly wasn't, bro. There's a person who can do what I do for millions of dollars cheaper and they do it better. There's always gonna be someone better, right? But it's how you portray yourself to the world and the kindness you give to people. That's what really truly matters in the world, okay? Nothing else like that will matter besides what you give to the world. So, um, now this I'm working on, okay? Today I will give you an example of what I did bad. You have to be able to control your mood, okay? So, today I had this new phone here that we're recording with. I don't know how it's recording, guys. I was using my laptop to record, but I got an iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I'm like, we had a new carrier, and I got something for my sister, and I was just mad because I had to deal with calling AT&T 3 hours, and I got nothing in return because my sister messed up her phone or whatever. You know, it happens. Just a kid. But I got really pissed for no reason at her. I felt really bad. I apologized. At least I think I did. I said I'm sorry for getting mad, unless she thinks it's the other way. But you know, but I got really moody and angry, and I shouldn't have done that. Okay, I apologize for it, and I learned from my mistakes. And you know, I work at my family's restaurant, so I was also dealing with a customer. I forgot their bag. I went, drove there, dropped their stuff off. I apologized. I said sorry. I didn't get mad at them or anything, but I forgot their order, and it was my fault. I took self accountability. Like, what was that tip? Like the second tip I gave you guys. You guys have to be able to hold yourselves accountable, and you know, you have to be able to control your mood as a man because masculinity in essence is stoicism, and stoicism is being able to control your emotions. And no, that does not mean do not cry at all. Stoicism is not that, and I hate when people think that stoicism is you can't control your emotions. I mean, you can't cry, you can't do this, guys. That's not stoicism. Stoicism is being able to think logically within the thunder, within the storm. You know, that is what stoicism is. Okay, where are we? We're at 8. Wow, we have a lot to go. Okay, this is gonna be a longer video than I thought. Hopefully, you guys stay tuned to it. But 9. Self-control creates maturity. Okay, controlling your urges, your diet, your impulses. When you master that, your whole mind levels up, and people around you notice. Okay, for the longest time, and I still don't. I still do it. My diet, it's still shaky. I'm working on it, but I'm gonna show you guys exactly in a couple months how controlling your urges actually improves you. Right? For me to have this physique so far, I need to get lean, but I have this ball, this nice muscular. Okay, I'm just glazing myself, but I've worked on this physique for 3, 4 years. I'm natural, and I tried my best at it. And I came from a very bad position, right? My physique looks still shitty compared to guys who are blessed with the best genetics or guys who've trained longer than me. They're gonna look better than me, and you know that's okay at some point. But I'm happy with what I built, and you just need to be able to control that side of yourself where you say no to things, right? No to the unhealthy foods, no to smoking, no to drugs, no to many of these things, man. Guys, you are who you surround yourself with, and that's the biggest truth, okay? I had surrounded myself with shitty people the whole time, and that's what I was. 2025 was my worst year, guys. And even though I tried to start a business and it failed, and I'm starting another one, I'm working on this YouTube channel, I'm doing all this, I realized that in essence, it was who I surrounded myself with in 2025. It made me a shittier version of myself. And to level up, you guys need to find those people that you can count on. My family is one of them. I have a couple close friends. That's it. I don't need anyone more than that. I have everything I need. I'm grateful. God has given me this much, and I'm happy. Okay. I'm not super religious, but I do believe that there is God, a higher power, and it's doing its work, right? So you guys have to bend your knees down and not have such a big ego in that aspect. So, um, what was so self control creates maturity was number 9. 10. You have to clear your head. Nobody really cares, okay? Bro, whatever embarrassing or painful things that happened when you were younger, let it go, okay? Adulthood is a fresh start, okay? Wipe the database. That's what I would say. And for the longest time, this was a problem with me until, probably like after high school. I was always afraid of what people would think of me. I'm fat, I'm ugly, this, that, that. Who cares, bro? It's the big 2-6, bro. The big 2-6, and we're still caring about what other people think. Please, bro. We're about to be in the 3-0, 2030, and we still care about what people think. It's it's done. We're done with this BS of what people think, okay? We do what we want. That's what a man is, okay? Not just men, women can do this too, but you have to do what you want to be able to do, not because what someone else says. Who the genuinely, who cares what you say? I don't care what you think. That's what you have to think, guys. All right, I don't want to get heated in the moment here, but it is what it is in that aspect, right? There's times where this quote does not work, but in this aspect, who cares what other people think? Because yes, I'm gonna try to do what I want to do. I'm gonna try to grow my business. I'm gonna try to grow this YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to be the best in every aspect of my life. And if you're gonna doubt me for it, go ahead, scream as loud as you can, because all you're doing is you're helping me. So please do it, guys. And you have to just realize that nobody really cares about you unless you show them something worth caring for, right? And for guys, this is even bigger, right? Guys are more held on their value of being able to provide for the family, which is fair enough. And no one's really going to care about you guys. You have to make it happen for yourself. So focus on that. Don't focus on all the other BS of drugs, alcohol, partying, having fun. Look, I'm way past that life. Okay. I didn't even really engage in that life. I was always more focused on this stuff. Not saying I'm better than anyone or anything, but it never appealed me, right? I was more of just who I hung out with in 2025 to what I do now. Before that, I was always like this. I was always trying to grow something. But in college, I was a little bit bent down because I was dealing with a lot of stuff, a lot of trauma, blah, 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 blah. And now we're here. So no one really cares. No one really cared then. All the friends I made, they didn't care. So we're here and we're still living life. Fantastic. Um, and it's this one, 11. Guys, fuck it. Sorry. I hate people who think they know everything. Okay, number 11 is you don't know much. The smartest move at your age is to stay humble, keep quiet, and absorb everything. The guys who think they know it all are always the furthest behind because, listen, guys, you don't know it all. You're never going to know it all. You are a student of life. You are always going to be learning, okay? You thinking, I'm that guy. I'm here. Life is like this. Oh, life is like this and life is like that. I think that's what Harvey Specter said. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But what I want to say is, you don't know much, so put your head down. That's all you gotta do. Put your head down and work. Work and learn and absorb from everyone. Bro, you can learn from everyone. You can learn from the homeless guy on the street. You can learn from the richest man on earth. You can run from a small. You can learn from a small business owner. You can learn from any single person, and nobody realizes this. But that's the greatest asset of life. You are going to be a lifelong student. And that student you're going to be is of life. You're going to always be able to learn. And isn't that just glorious and tender and just beautiful? That's what I would say. And 12. There are levels to this world that you guys do not know. Every time you think you've made it, there's another level above you. Use that to stay motivated and hungry instead of getting comfortable, guys. Getting comfortable is the worst thing you can do. Complacent, okay? Now, I'm going to say this in terms of you've become what? Top 10%, even top 1% of your field, right? Let's say you become the best coding person. You become the best in your business. You become the best in the gym. You can lift the most. There's always going to be another gym. There's always going to be another business owner. There's always going to be another person who's going to be higher than you, and you're going to want more, right? So that's a superpower, being able to know that you can always go higher, right? There's a point where it gets drastic, but you are able to always improve. And that's the beauty of life, guys. Man or woman, you are always able to improve yourself and be better. You are always able to go to the gym. You're always able to learn. You're always able to study. You can do whatever you want. You want to study being a doctor. You want to study being a lawyer. You want to study astronauts. You want to do psychology. You can do whatever you want. And that is the glory of life, guys. You can be whatever and whoever you want to be. So make it happen. Okay? Now, I said that there are levels to this world. 13. Now, this is a big important one, guys. And I see men. This coffee is good. Now, patience is a superpower, guys. This is a big one I see. Most guys this age, they want everything now. They want it fast, fast, fast. That was me. I wanted to be rich fast. I wanted to win all fast. But I realized building anything actually worth it takes time, right? Realize this before you're 20. Anything you want to build, it takes time. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, I'm sorry, I'm using these examples again. If you want to be an electrical engineer, if you want to do some trade school, whatever you want to do, it's going to take time. And for you to think that you can do it overnight is so silly, because overnight success is a false commodity. Okay, I don't know what I said. That was a random word, but it's false and it's not true. You can't just be an overnight success whenever you want it. Patience is a superpower. The ones who can wait, stay consistent, and do things, grind in the mud for 2, 3, 4, 5, however many years it takes, and even if it look crazy to you, if you can put it down and realize what you're gonna do is gonna be so big, you can just focus right on it. You're gonna be successful. That's my word to you guys, okay? If you guys can stay consistent and you can be patient and you can absorb it all in and say, block out the noise, absorb it all in, and just go all in, you will be successful. No doubt in my mind, okay? Um, 14, build, don't brag. Invest your time and money into things that actually grow. Let your life speak for itself. Nobody who's really doing it needs to announce it, okay? You look, announcing is cool, right? The reason I announced my business is personally because I'm all in. I'm 100% in. I'm devoted to this stuff and I will win no matter what. For me, that's how I feel. I don't know how you guys feel, but it's okay. It's it's honestly okay not to tell anyone, because no one's going to understand you, right? This YouTube channel, I have to tell people what I'm doing, because honestly, if I don't, it's going to be like I'm saying I'm just being a fake person here. But you have to invest your time into things and skills and assets that actually develop, right? Most guys, they think, oh, I'm going to get right into trading. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make quick money. That doesn't work. You have to take time to build, bro. I think it was Warren Buffett. This was my friend who actually told me about this, a good friend of mine. And he said that it took 60 some years for Warren Buffett to build. Warren Buffett said this, but my friend told me. It takes 60, 65 years or something to build your reputation, but a second to break it. And that's so true, guys. So take your time building systems and things and processes that actually work, rather than trying to get a short term quick win, because long term sustainability is stronger than the exponential, the short term burst you might achieve, you know? So build, but do not brag, and do your best. 15. Don't be afraid of what motivates you, okay? If money, girls, or status is what gets you out of bed right now, use it. You'll mature out of it eventually, but by then you already have built something real, okay? And for me to explain this to guys to you, for the longest time in high school, I was so ugly. I was I literally looked like a freaking frog, okay? And for the longest time, it was having the ability to talk to girls, get a girl, talk to girls, and do whatever, like be a popular kid. That was what motivated me, which is a really shitty reason, I realized. But it got me through. It got me to the gym. It got me working. It got me understanding. And then it stopped being about getting the girls. It stopped being about trying to chase the money, after that, it was chasing the money. And then it stopped being chasing the money. It was just about trying to help people, like I'm trying to do now. And that's really where most people struggle. And it's because they're afraid of what motivates them, right? If you're motivated by a dark revenge for like anything you want, like I don't know. People have dark motives, right? Or you want, a girl, you want to get a girl, you want money, you want power, you want status. Listen, let it overtake you, let it overflow you, because eventually you will realize how silly it is. But in the moment right now, let it burst out and let it drive you so far ahead of people that they don't understand it. Again, insanity. This is the same concept that's going to be over and over in this topic, right? People are not going to understand you. People are going to think you're insane, right? But this is how we grow, guys. So don't be afraid of what motivates you. And now 16. Just come on, guys. Like, you've heard this. Take risks, okay? Playing it safe your whole life guarantees average results, okay? The people who win big are the ones who are willing to put real stakes at risk, right? Now listen, guys. If you think that you are not going to be able to take a risk and win big, then that's most likely true. It's not going to happen. But if you do think you can, you will. Like, you think Elon Musk, one one guy who's made a lot of wealth, right? Even Donald Trump, who I don't necessarily like, he's done a lot. He's took so much risk and he's become worth something so unfathomable we can imagine, right? There have been many people like this: Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, freaking Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. There's so many people like this who have taken the risk and they've worked so hard to achieve it. They've This is what I've seen this video about Alex Hormozy, and it's about managing risk, right? If you're able to manage the risk, you're able to leverage it for higher profits. And that's exactly what you can do with risk in any part of your life, right? So when you play safe, if I hid behind the screen, I want to do this, but I was hiding behind the screen like this, then I was not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to get anywhere. Simple as that. You need to take risks if you want to go big in life, guys. Stop hiding behind the screen, okay? Put yourself out there if you want to be out there. If you don't, fine, great. You can do whatever you want, but make sure you take risks in your field or in whatever you want to do. Just take risks, guys. Don't be afraid of doing the unthinkable, okay? Now, 17. Don't seek pleasure when things go wrong, okay? Bad day, you don't run to junk food, okay? You don't go to the next McDonald's nearby. You don't watch porn. You don't go on your phone. You take it on the chin like a man. You go to the gym. You keep moving, okay? The discipline will compound over time. And most men, when the littlest thing happens, they go home in their bed and they do some fucking weird stuff, okay? And you have to move past that stage where when it happens, and you have to move like a thunderbolt, bro. Speed is very important too, right? That's one of my bonus ones. You have to just be fast, and you have to be willing to execute it as fast as possible, and that's literally how businesses win. But moving on, 18, do the right things even when it hurts you. Okay, be honest, right? I wasn't the most honest person. I'm getting better at it. I'm working at it, but pay people what they're owed. Own up when you mess up, and it builds a reputation that money cannot buy. Reputation is more important in business, in anything, in every aspect of life. Reputation is more important. So make sure you're doing the right things for your reputation. Now, 19, always be honest, right? Again, I'm working on this, but lies are exhausting to maintain and they always come out eventually. Honesty up front is just easier and people trust you more for it, right? Honestly, whatever you want to say, if you did wrong in the past and you're talking to someone, you say the straight and honest answer, and that's what I've learned because it's not worth. It's so exhausting trying to lie and trying to cover it up, right? It's not worth it. You say it to the chin, take it to the chin, and you say the truth. I wish I could be more like this. I'm working on it, right? But this is something I want to take into my 30s, into my future, right? Be better and be more honest. Now, 20, do what you like without fear. Life is too short for other people's opinions. If it makes you happy and it's not hurting anyone, do it without apology. Simple as that. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't not do it because of what people think or what people may say, because that is a complete waste of your time, guys. To be great, you have to be able to Just take it, guys. That's You have to live life without fear. You can't be scared if you want to be great and successful. Every man goes through something. Every person goes through something. And you just have to be able to put your foot down on the gas pedal and go and not stop. Never give up, guys. That's all.